Here we are, getting back to the barn. Oh, we were not planning on this happening, so we definitely got some stuff to show you on this one. Unfortunately, it's raining outside, so we are doing some work in here in the barn, and yes, we got the old man's hot rod behind us, covered up. It's ready to go, but we're gonna work on some stuff inside. What I'm gonna be working on today is I got some brackets and things that I'm gonna do, but we're gonna be working on the black car, that's right. So I got the motor plate in the car, and it's just bolted onto the water pump area and down by the crankshaft. It's just setting in, but I do have my mid plate is already done and finished. When I had a previous motor in here, all this stuff was done. I had to make this new plate because if you guys remember, my Pro Charger being way out here, I had to relocate this bar, and it actually had to take it and I had to tip it over to the side because of how the Pro Charger is, and I'm probably a finger width away. So this side I had to trim up. Well, I got this little bracket now that I'm gonna set in here. I'm gonna put it up against my strut bar, weld this up so I can bolt this on, and then I'm gonna put some gussets on this to strengthen this up so we're all good to go. Why didn't you fully weld that all the way in? Okay, if you weld things in on a chassis like that, and you just go to town and buzz that thing away, 9 times out of 10, when you're fully done with it and you try to slip that bolt through, it's not gonna fit, no matter what. I'm sorry, it's pretty much not gonna fit. So when I'm doing something like this, I'm gonna tack it together, then I'm gonna drill my holes in the motor plate, bolt it down, or do like I did there with a pair of C-clamps, vice grip that sucker down. Now what I'm doing is I'm making a gusset. Why am I doing a gusset? For you guys that don't know, this is gonna strengthen up anything that you weld up. If you just put a flat plate on there and all of a sudden you throw a gusset on there, it's gonna strengthen it up. It's not like tenfold, but it's gonna really, really help out. Also, for you guys that don't know this, any normal car engine, the driver's side is gonna wanna lift out of the frame. It's because of the rotation of the motor, it wants to torque itself out. What they used to do back in like the old man's day was that they would take and put a chain coming off the cylinder head down to the frame, because there's so many times that they used to break motor mounts, it would snap them out of the car. So they'd run a chain. Well, with this, I wanna make sure with gussets and everything that I'm doing that it's gonna be strong enough, because this driver side is what's gonna take all that torque. This is a lot of torque. I mean, we're talking 1500 plus. I wanna make sure that this thing's not gonna come out. So we're gonna weld some gussets in it. Then we'll go through, fully weld everything up, and then this will be done. I know I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm gonna say this. When you're welding, you guys, make sure there's no paint on the frame. Whatever you're welding, make sure it's clean. You wanna get good penetration. But you wanna get good penetration, and you wanna make sure that penetration counts by making sure what you're penetrating is clean.
Twisted maze.
So that, my friends, is not going anywhere. You can see where it's welded there, and I also welded up the back side. So we are all good to go. Now this guy's gonna work with your short water pumps. So I took that, bolted it onto the passenger side here. I took the crank trigger, mounted it over there so everything's clear. Now I got to cut that section out right there, and then I can go through, start sanding, start polishing that thing, make it look nice and pretty. But we are going to have a little bit of a problem here because I was going to get the black car up on the lift. You guys just heard that all about 15, 30 seconds ago, whatever. Well, things changed. So now, Joe, if you remember Joe with Cheap Date, he ended up blowing the transmission out of the Monte Carlo, out of Cheap Date. Needless to say, what you guys will see in this video is more than one tranny got blown. But seriously, so he wants to make this race that's going to be out at Stanton come in about a month. And we have a transmission here for him. It's out of Schuler's car. It's his Turbo 350 he had back behind his 650 horse 468, which is this guy. So I'm going to be installing this transmission into Cheap Date, and that one's built. It's got a, don't shoot me on this one, but I think it's a 34 element Sprag that's in it. Good clutches and steels. It's a reverse manual valve body. It does not have a trans brake. So it's almost exactly the same as what he has in the Monte Carlo. Plus, I'm going to go through and I'm going to hook up the NOS progressive controller for you guys out there that haven't tried them. Well, I'll show you a little wiring setup and I'll show you guys how to hook those up. They're inexpensive. I've ran them and they work freaking awesome. If you guys don't remember Cheap Date's episode where we break into the 1190s, dude, we are fighting traction, and this really needs a progressive controller. But if you haven't checked that out, I'll throw the link up into the comments, and then I'll give you a little shot right here for the video. So we want to be able to still run it on 150 shot. I'd like to be able to run it on 100 shot with the progressive controller and break it into the 11s, and maybe with 150 shot that it was going 1190s with, we can then get maybe 1140s, 1150s, who knows. But I'm going to wire all that stuff up and do all that. So Cheap Date's going to be coming back here as well. So I can't get the black Camaro up on the lift, unfortunately. I'm going to make money. So at that point, we're going to throw that thing up. We're going to get him back on the road. Nick ended up picking up some Moroso trick springs that are the next size up, and they're not cut. We cut like half a coil off the last batch. That's what we got going on over here. That would be these guys here. And those are like a 212 pound spring. And the front end of this thing was slammed. If you guys don't remember, we couldn't even make a turn. It was just rubbing the tires just horribly. So he ended up buying the next weight up. And these, I believe, are around 230, 245 pound spring. And didn't cut them this time. This does have 2-inch drop spindles on it, but we didn't cut them, and it was like, let's just put them in. If they have to be cut, we'll cut them. But that is where it ended up. So now you can see everything. It seems like everything's clear and well. So then what we're going to try to do is we're going to fire this thing off, and we are going to take it for a spin. Fingers crossed that, you know, we don't get any rubbing or anything like that. But yeah, we're going to take this thing out, take it for a little spin, go down the road, and hopefully get you guys some good footage. Who knows? Maybe I can talk them into doing a little burnout. We'll do some drive-bys. Hopefully everything goes well. you got to say about that destruction? Oh, I tell you what, I cannot believe there isn't transmission fluid and parts everywhere for how loud that was. I tell you what, you guys, $3,000 transmission within half a mile, gone. All right, we're gonna fire this thing off now that we got it here. Make sure the motor's okay. He's gonna try reverse. Does it back up? Right first. So she backs up. Right first.
Nothing. Car has gone backwards farther than it has gone forward in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
This is a turbo 400 in it now, isn't it? Yeah.
This is about almost the same as what I got in the black car. This is...
The only thing that you have different than I have is you have that hard input shaft.
Yeah, I got a billet input shaft. It's the same shaft, but
it
mine's...
goes in reverse, so therefore the shaft's good. It's just first gear's gone.
We're not going to know until we get Randy on this thing to tear it apart, take a look at it and all that, but the build of this transmission was simply just build it once, you won't have to screw with the thing.
That was the plan.
So I don't know what that was. It sounded like it was, you know, the loading up. I remember you getting into it and you're giving me that look like, yeah, why do I got to give it this kind of gas? And it almost felt like the car was fighting itself. It wouldn't shift. And then all of a sudden, boom.
It felt like it was like
binding up.
Like fat, like running pig fat, like hot on it. I gave it a little bit more and then we heard it. But
yeah, then she went poof.
Fuck, I could have backed it up the hill.
I would jack it up in the air, drain the transmission fluid, pull the pan. No. You know, if it goes down to the floor when I'm holding it, that means it's gonna leak.
Right, but it's not a leak. I think it's moisture coming out of the tubes. When's the last time you drained?
That is what we're getting problems with. We're thinking we're maybe getting some brake fluid coming out of this. But it doesn't make sense because nothing out of here.
Hi guys.
How you doing,
No, you're
buddy?
good, sir. Get out.
Nothing?
No.
Yeah, because if anything, it would be leaking on the floor too. Yeah, you got nothing.
Right there. Son of a bitch.
So it's axle seals.
This is my next guess.
What's it smell like? Since you smell tranny fluid, what's worse?
You're in.
No, that tranny. Trannies smell worse.
So how does the weekend end for you guys?
Well, I blew a tranny, and his rear end's leaking.
So what kind of weekend you guys having? So on that note, we are going to be all done down here at the barn. Ended on a, well, it's not even ending it on a good note, you guys. So hope to see you guys down at the track. See you guys at the car shows. Get out there, work on your hot rods, have some fun, blowing a tranny and having a leaky rear end. Take care, you guys. See ya.